She's the old lady with a rhyming itch, is none other than Gruntilda the Witch from the Banjo-Kazooie series. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Gruntilda, she made her first appearance in the game Banjo-Kazooie, which originally released on the Nintendo 64 in 1998. Gruntilda is a mean old witch who wanted nothing more than to be the prettiest lady of all. But due to her serious lack of hygiene, she could not achieve that goal whatsoever. Seriously, Grunty here is one nasty lady. But after discovering that Banjo's younger sister, Tootie, was cute and kind, she decided to kidnap her and suck the cuteness right out of her. But the old hag was beaten by the bear and bird duo and was crushed by a ginormous boulder at the end of the game. But unsurprisingly, she returned in the second game, Banjo-Tooie, to defeat the bear and bird again. But again, she was defeated. Nowadays, Grunty here is permanently stuck in a video game factory making terrible video games, like the widely hated game Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. But today, Gruntilda will be returning the score and try to defeat the bear and bird on the Super Smash Bros. Roster. So starting off, Gruntilda here would be a super heavyweight fighter, for obvious reasons. She'd have 4 jumps by using her broomstick, and she'd have no other movement options. But now, let's dive into her costumes. Well, actually before that, this video is sponsored by StreamStation PC. For those of you who've never heard of StreamStation PC, StreamStation PC is a website that sells PC equipment, but not just any PC equipment. Each PC here is custom made and was made with gaming in mind. These are high quality gaming PCs that can run up to 60 frames per second and even supports 4K resolution. So if you'd like to order a custom-made gaming PC, head on over to StreamStationPC.com. And if you'd like to get a small discount while simultaneously supporting my channel, then use the promo code on screen. And now, back to the video. Okay, now let's dive into our costumes. For Gruntilda's default appearance, she'll be in her iconic black robe. For her first alt, her robe turns entirely white, which is in reference towards her minion, Klungo. Then for the second alt, Grunty gets a pink robe. This is in reference towards Gruntilda's nicer sister, Brentilda. For the third alt, her robe turns gray, which references both Clanker and Mecha Grunty from the unheard game Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. For her fourth alt, Gruntilda's robe turns entirely red. This would be in reference towards the young girl Tootie. For the rest of the alts, these will be costumes where Gruntilda gets her other appearances from the other Banjo-Kazooie games. So for her fifth alt, Gruntilda becomes a skeleton, which references Gruntilda's appearance in Banjo-Tooie. For her sixth alt, she becomes a robot known as Mecha Grunty. And the final alt will be her appearance from the most recent and most hated Banjo game, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Now with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the moveset. Now, Gruntilda's moveset was definitely a challenge to make, and that's mainly due to the fact that, in most of the Banjo games, Grunty here has mostly fought in huge pieces of machinery. So for a lot of the neutral attacks, these will be innovative attacks that utilize both Gruntilda's sentient broom and her disgusting hygiene issues. So starting off with her jab, it'll be a 3-hit jab where Gruntilda uses her broom. It's a pretty simple move and doesn't hit that hard, but it is a pretty quick attack. For the side tilt, Gruntilda will pierce the tip of her broom forwards. But when she does that, the tip of her broom opens its mouth and chomps a single time, dealing a large amount of damage and knockback. For the down tilt, this will have Gruntilda use her broom the way it was meant to be used. She uses it to sweep the opponents off of their feet. This attack can be spammed for as long as you want, although it only goes slightly in front of Gruntilda. On the bright side, the start of this move has the ability to trip foes at early percentages. For the up tilt, Gruntilda will use her magic and spin her broom in the air a single time, dealing multiple hits of damage until the final hit. For Gruntilda's forward smash, Gruntilda uses her magic to throw a small meteorite that explodes on impact. This smash attack works just like a Ness's PK fire, where it travels diagonally downwards and deals multiple hits of damage until the final hit. However, unlike Ness's, there's a lot of start lag and even more end lag. This attack comes from the final boss fight of Banjo-Kazooie. For the down smash, Gruntilda uses her magic again to cause a small boulder to appear directly in front of herself. As you might have guessed, this smash attack is capable of burying opponents if they happen to be right beneath the boulder. The boulder does count as a projectile though, so please be careful. This is in reference towards the very end of Banjo-Kazooie when Gruntilda was defeated by the mighty Ginginator and was crushed by a boulder. For the up smash, Gruntilda uses her magic to bring in her cauldron. After it's teleported onto the stage, it explodes upwards, dealing a large amount of damage and knockback. This smash attack is a slight nod to the cauldron's abilities in Banjo-Kazooie, where they launch Banjo to another location in Gruntilda's lair. For the neutral air, Grunty extends her body, just like what a few characters do in Smash. For her forward air, Gruntilda will unleash a loud belch, which deals multiple hits of damage until the final hit. The burp cloud lingers in the air for a little bit, so foes can deal damage just a little bit after the attack ends. For her back air, Grunty closes up her attic and unleashes some serious pain from her basement, as she lets out a huge fart, which launches foes very far. Yes, it's nasty, but that's Gruntilda for you. Anyways, for the down air, Gruntilda will plummet downwards. Grunty is the hitbox on this attack and launches foes on impact. However, as soon as she lands back on the stage, she'll suffer quite an uncomfortable amount of end lag. And finally, for her up air, Gruntilda uses her broom again to whack anyone who happens to be too close. But where Gruntilda says it's rhyme time is with her special attacks. For Gruntilda's neutral special, it comes straight from the past. It's none other than her Magic Blast. It's your standard neutral special where Gruntilda uses her magic to shoot out a medium-sized projectile forwards. However, I am going to be adding something to this neutral special. To emphasize the magic aspect of this move, if a foe happens to be over 100% of damage once they get hit, they'll suffer a random effect, like reverse controls, poison, or even a flower effect. These effects last for a total of 7 seconds, so don't worry about it lasting for the entire match. This is a slight nod to what Gruntilda used in the boss fight of Banjo-Kazooie. Now for Gruntilda's side special, she spells out your doom while riding her iconic magic broom. This side special works like a combination between Pikachu's charge attack and Steve's Elytra, where Gruntilda can charge us up and use it to glide in the air for a short period of time. When used on the ground, the side special acts like a stronger version of Pikachu's charge attack as well as Bowser Jr.'s clown car, where Gruntilda launches foes on impact until she turns around. If used in the air, it behaves like Steve's Elytra, where Grunty can use it to glide for a short amount of time. As cool as the side special sounds, there is one weak point. If foes happen to be shielding when Gruntilda bumps into them, then Gruntilda will be sent flying off of her broom until she lands on the stage. Once Gruntilda lands, she'll suffer an uncomfortable amount of end lag. Plus, if she happens to hit a shielded player at the edge of the stage, she'll fall off the stage and more than likely lose a stock. Now for her down special, in order to survive the battlefield, she'll retreat into her magic shield. This magic shield is pretty unique as it counts as a reflector and a counterattack to some extent. She can't even be grabbed in the state, as players too close will automatically deal a small amount of damage. As strong as this sounds, there is one very big weak point with this down special. This shield behaves just like the traditional shield every player has in the Super Smash Bros. Series, where the more you hold it down for, the quicker the shield shrinks and breaks, leaving the player dizzy for a few seconds. So if you happen to be playing as someone with projectiles, use that to your advantage to break Grunty's magic shield. And finally, for Gruntilda's up special, Gruntilda sits with her big fat rump to perform an original big broom jump. This up special is unique in a few ways. First of all, this move causes Gruntilda's entire body to become a hitbox, meaning that foes who hit Gruntilda will be launched. Second, this up special acts as another type of jump. And third, you can spam this up special for about 5 times, after which Gruntilda's broom will disappear, causing her to go into freefall. And now, for a final smash. Gruntilda's final smash will be Hag 1. For this final smash, Gruntilda's strongest invention known as Hag 1 will teleport onto the battlefield, automatically moving from left to right. If Gruntilda uses her special button, she'll use her magic blast to zap anyone who happened to be too close. Then, after about 10 seconds of this madness, Hag 1 stops at the middle of the stage and explodes, causing a large explosion that covers the majority of most stages, ending the final smash. This final smash is a reference towards the final boss fight in Banjo-Tooie, where Gruntilda piloted Hag 1 in an attempt to destroy Banjo and Kazooie. The stage of choice is Grunty's Furnace Fun from Banjo-Kazooie. This stage has a single flat layout, but there are a lot of stage hazards that take place here. Occasionally, lava shoots out from the bottom part of the stage, which launches foes upwards. However, the big stage hazard is occasional buttons that appear on stage. Once these buttons appear on stage, the stage's background will have a question that the players must answer. These questions range from simple questions, like which fire you're playing, to hard ones like naming a certain stage. If you correctly answer the question, you get an item. However, if you fail to push the button on time, you'll deal a small amount of damage. Given that a lot of Banjo-Kazooie music didn't make it to Ultimate, I decided to go with a lot of songs from all the major Banjo games. In total, 21 songs will be included, 12 of which will be remixed. And that would be if Gruntilda the Witch joined Super Smash Bros. To be honest, I think Gruntilda is such an underrated video game villain. Sure, she may be nasty and weird, but she's also just too funny to take seriously at times. And while she may have not joined Smash as a fighter, at least she was recognized enough to be in Smash as a background character. Anyways, do you have a character you'd like to see be given a Smash moveset? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe? That way you can get notified when I put out any Super Smash Bros. Moveset videos. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.